Hello everyone, this is Rajeshwari. Today we will see Henry Lawson's short story, The Drover's Wife. It is about the author. Henry Lawson, who was born in 1867 and died in 1922, he was an Australian writer and a bush poet. He was popularly called as Australia's greatest short story writer. He was also contributed regularly to the Australian magazine The Bulletin. He was noted for his realistic portrayals of bush life in his work of art. He has just taken a straightforward style in his work of art, using short sentences and conveying the concepts directly to the readers. And this short story, The Drover's Wife, which appeared first in the Bulletin magazine in the year 1892. Let's see the characters of The Drover's Wife: the bushwoman, the drover, Tommy, Jackie, Alligator, and King Jimmy. The bushwoman, who is the protagonist of the short story or the main character of the short story, in the absence of her husband, she has to take the whole responsibility of the family. The drover is the husband of bushwoman. Drover means a person who drives animals, cattle, or sheep. Here, this drover is driving sheep. So the drover, the husband of bushwoman, who is away from home for the past 6 months. So for the past 6 months, she is the only one person who takes the whole responsibility of the family. And this bushwoman who lives in the outback of Australia, which is far away from the society. It is an isolated place. She lives with her 4 children, Tommy, Jackie, and other 2 girls. Tommy and Jackie are boys and 2 girls. The 2 girls are just babies. Tommy is the eldest one, who is 11 years old, and Jackie is the second one. An alligator, it is a snake dog which acts as a protector of the family, especially in the absence of her husband. It is a big black yellow-eyed dog which has already killed many snakes. So it is a snake dog. Snake is the enemy of this alligator, this dog. This King Jimmy, who is a bushman or a indigenous person, during one pathetic situation, during one difficult situation of her childbirth, this King Jimmy, somehow by God's grace, who comes there and he gets his wife Black Mary. So this Black Mary helped this bushwoman during a childbirth. Let's see the analysis of The Drover's Wife. The story starts with an introduction of the decayed or dilapidated situation of the house. This is a dilapidated 2-roomed house which is completely away from or isolated from the society. This 2-roomed decayed or dilapidated house which situated there in the outback of Australia. Here, a bushwoman who lives with her 4 children. Bushwoman's husband, who will always be away from home, and now he has gone from home 6 months ago. So for the past 6 months, she is the only one person who takes the whole responsibility of this house. Her husband is a drover who drives sheep, and for the past 6 months he is not at home. So especially in the absence of her husband, she is the only one person who has to take care of the whole family. She has to protect her children, and she has to protect herself, and the responsibility lies there on the head of this bushwoman. One day there comes an evil-eyed snake. So Tommy, the eldest one, 11 years old, the eldest one, who was the person who sees the snake at first, and who was shouting. As soon as he sees the snake, he starts shouting and yelling and telling that he will beat the snake, just like a pledge. He is telling that he will beat the snake. An alligator, the family snake dog, he has also seen our evil-eyed snake. So he is also, along with this alligator, Tommy, and both of them were approaching the snake. But before they could approach, before they could catch the snake, which slips through a crack in the floor under the house. But whole responsible person of a family, bushwoman, who tries to restrain them, who tries to control both Tommy and alligator, because she doesn't want to lose both Tommy and alligator. Even the alligator, though it is a non-human one, though it's an animal, she doesn't want to lose even her dog. So she tries to prevent them from approaching it. So later, this bushwoman who tries to tempt the snake to come out of the crack. She tries to tempt the snake by providing dishes of milk or the milk. So it is nearing night. This night completely fills with a thunderstorm. By the time she sets a bed for her children to sleep there on the kitchen table itself. And beside, a bushwoman who sits and waits for the snake to come. She is guarding them. She is guarding her children. And by the time to pass the time, she was sewing and reading the journal, which is a young lady's journal. Here, this young lady's journal, which fills with the complete illustration of fashion and trend of the day. She loves reading it, or she enjoys seeing it. So here we can see that, so though she lives away from the society, or she lives in the outback of Australia, she cannot able to completely come out of this fashion or her girlish hopes or aspirations. That is why often or whenever she gets time, she tries to look at this young lady's journal, which fills with the complete illustration of fashion of that day. I've already discussed that a bushwoman's husband is away from home for the past 6 months. So the whole responsibility is there on the head of our bushwoman. Actually, this family moved here in the bush after a drought. They have faced a very difficult situation during the drought. So after this drought, the whole family moved here in the bush. Whenever she hears a noise, she reaches for the stick. And her brother-in-law's hut is there, which is 20 miles away from this bush, which is there on the main road. Her brother-in-law, that is Drover's brother, she is a little worried about the current situation because recently they have lost a little son of her brother-in-law. Okay, recently he has been bitten by a snake and died. So that is why she was a little more worried about the current situation, the present situation. And because she doesn't want to lose her children, even alligator. So here in the life of hardships and struggles, this bushwoman has to give up all her girlish hopes and aspirations. But somehow, in some situations, she was not able to leave these hopes completely. That is why frequently she looks at young lady's journal. She has given birth 2 times in the bush. Okay, she gave birth twice in the bush, and she survived in one of her child's birth. It's because of the timely help of Black Mary, King Jimmy's wife, Black Mary, an Aboriginal woman. King Jimmy is an Aboriginal man. She has already lost one child in another situation, so that is why she doesn't want to lose her children again. So that is why she has determined that she doesn't want to lose another child again. At that time, when she lost a child, at that time she faced that was one of her difficult situations of her life. She has to ride 19 miles for getting even an assistance with the dead body of child, with the child's corpse. So now the story comes in the present. Alligator lives with the family to guard, like a guardian or the protector of the family. And bushwoman, she has undergone a lots of difficult situations or harsh realities of life. Nature shows various phases of her life, once in the form of a fire and another time in the form of a flood. So once she fought with a bushfire, but somehow she managed to beat the fire with the help of other 4 bushmen. And in another time she fought with the flood also. Though she tried hard, she couldn't save a dam which was built by her husband over years. So in various ways, nature shows her difficult phase or harsh phases to the bushwoman. So here we can see the fight between man and nature. So this bushwoman, uh, she tried hard to fight with the nature, to fight with the various phases of nature, once in the form of fire and in another situation in the form of a flood. And not only that, she has also fight with a contagious bacterial disease called pleuropneumonia. Pleuropneumonia, it is a lung disease of cattle and sheep. Okay, so she has faced, or she has fought with this contagious disease also, this contagious bacterial disease also. And after effects of this disease, or as a result of this disease, what happened? She lost her two best cows, and later she has also fought with a mad bullock. And it never ends, not only that, and regularly she has to fight with eagles, crows, to save her chickens. So in various ways, or in various forms, nature threatens her, or nature threatens our bushwoman. Another situation, she had to stop the unnecessary interference of a drunken bushman. And just a week before, that drunken bushman who comes home and demanded food, and but she has also provided what he has demanded. But even after getting food, he was not ready to leave. Okay, he wanted to stay that night at home, but she cannot able to allow that. So she tries to threaten, or she tries to frighten him with her stick, and alligator also joins along with her, frightening him to leave. Actually, this bushwoman's husband, Drover, plans to move his family to the nearest town when he returns. Uh, Her brother in law comes once in a month with provisions, who is the only one family, who is the only one person who helps with the family by providing provisions. Even after all these laws, bushwoman has a couple of cows, one horse, and a few sheep. And she also says, this bushwoman also acknowledges that Drover is a good husband, and if he had the means, he would take her to the city and keep her there like a princess. So she acknowledges that her husband is a good and nice person. All day same for her, but not Sunday, because during Sundays she and her children dresses up neatly, dressed up well and neat, and they will go for a walk in the bush. Obviously, a lonely walk, but every Sunday she tidies her children well, dresses them well, and she will take them for a walk in the bush. Though it's a completely lonely walk, she is satisfied with her life, and she loved her family a lot. But it's because of the harsh realities of life, or the difficult situations of her life, she was not able to express her love outwardly to the family. She will never express her love outwardly to the family, so that her children think that she is a harsh person. But she is not a harsh person. Her heart completely fills with love, care, and affection to her family, to her husband and her four children. And later in the morning, Alligator and the bushwoman, both of them have noticed this evil eyed black 5 feet long snake which slithers out of a crack in the partition between the house and the kitchen. As soon as he sees the snake, Alligator starts approaching it and he kills the snake somehow. And this bushwoman who takes the carcass, or the dead body of this snake, with a stick, and she later put it into the fire. And this whole family, Alligator, bushwoman, and Tommy, all the three, watching this burning carcass, the burning body, or dead body of this snake. When the story ends here, Tommy, the eldest one of this family, the eldest son of this family, who promises the bushwoman that he will never be a drover, he will never be away from home, or he will never be a drover. So, here, through this story, we can see the success of Australian settlement in the bush. Here, we have seen that whatever might be the difficulties she has faced, she has overcome everything one by one. She has become succeeded. So, through this, we can see the success of Australian settlement here in the bush, or in Australia. So, the themes here we can see struggle, hardships, resilience, isolation, responsibility, and aspirations. Struggle, we have seen how hard she struggled in each and every day, in each and every elements of nature. How she struggles with nature, the various stages or various forms of nature, once in the form of fire, in another situation, the form of flood. Then, from eagles and crows, she has to take care of her chickens. So, hardships, her life was completely filled with harsh realities. But whatever might be the pathetic situation, we have seen her resilience, or she recovers from difficulties quickly. Okay, her capacity to recover quickly from each and every difficult situation that we have seen here. She quickly recovers from difficult situations or difficulties of her life. And isolation. Her house itself is isolated from the society. Okay, though her brother-in-law stays there nearby her house, which is not even nearby, it is 20 miles away from her house. So her house itself is away from the society, so which is there in the outback of Australia. Then responsibility, we have seen her responsibility in the absence of her husband, how much she was responsible to take care of her family, and she doesn't want to lose even her alligator, even her dog, not only her children, she doesn't want to lose even her alligator. And aspirations, though she is away from the society, she though she tries to give up all her aspirations, she was not able to give up it completely. That's what we have seen when she tries to look at this young lady's journal. So by looking at this young lady's journal, or by reading this young lady's journal, she gets some pleasure. She was enjoying by looking at it. So that's all today. Hope you understood. Thank you.